Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly podcast. I'm Rachel Branningham. This weekend, Cecilia is the center of the universe. Cecilia Days is back Friday and Saturday. We've got fish plate dinners, the baby contest, the pageants on Friday night, and then Saturday, it's the parade at 10, barbecue chicken, tractor games, a car show, a magician, and Cecilia's Got Talent to close it all out. And that's not all happening in Cecilia. It's also the final weekend of the Sunflower Festival at Thomas Dairy Farm and Market. 150,000 sunflowers, and your admission includes a bloom to take home. It's also officially back to school week. I know my kids are so excited. Hardin County students head back Thursday, and we've got that covered too. Here's your homework while you watch. I've got an icebreaker that I want you to start thinking about. Who was one teacher you'll never forget and why? I know my kiddos already have a teacher that, regardless of grade, they run in and find her in the school and hug her every single day. So, who was that person for you? Drop your comments, your answers in the comments. We're reading the best ones at the end of the show. And we've got a company for the whole show today. We are joined by Steve Ames, the owner of the Snow Dogs food truck. So excited to have you. My kiddos absolutely love your food truck. We have to stop every time we see it. So we're going to hear all about your story. You're going to be hanging us out with us for the full hour. We're going to visit with him between every segment, the story, the menu, and the part I really want you to hear, how they help schools, churches, and ball teams raise money. If you've ever run a fundraiser, you want to keep watching. Plus, Nate's got business buzz and he has a scoop this week. And I've got your housing market update, and the buyers are back. The experienced eaters are off this week, but they'll be back next Tuesday with fresh reviews. So let me introduce you to the team. We have Phil Tall, my co host and producer, Scott Lucas, my co host as well. I've got John O'Brien with all of our events and happenings. I've got Nate Bryan with business news and updates. And at the corner, at the bottom of your screen, of course, this is Steve Ames. All right, if you're watching live, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Like the page, share the stream, and hit subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, etc. And once again, don't forget everything we talk about today, the things that we can't go into depth about because we're out of time, those are all available at hardandlocal.com. All right, before we get to the fun stuff, a couple of quick things for the parents. School is back on Thursday. That's August 6th, okay? So watch for buses, watch the school zones, and give yourself extra time Thursday morning. I feel like it's always a bit of a transition back into school. And so just being really, really mindful. Also, on that day, I think most of Hardin County, they get out an hour early just to ensure that the buses can actually get to everybody's homes and they don't have any issues. So here's a fun one for Thursday morning. Community leaders are lining up at Radcliffe Elementary and Vine Grove Elementary at 6:45 a.m. to welcome the kids back with high fives and fist bumps. How cool is that? That's organized by Selena Hudson and the crew. If you're a community leader who wants in, let them know so they can count you for the donuts and coffee. Um, so just if like I said, if you want to be involved in that, make sure you reach out to Selena Hudson. She's the one organizing all of that. Um, and mark your calendars. White Mills Days is the 51st annual. I know we did a whole segment on this 2 weeks ago, I believe, and that is actually coming up. It's August 14th and 15th, so it's right around the corner. That's White Mills Days. So make sure to mark your calendars. The parade is Saturday at 10 on the new route. We've got the duck race that I am so excited about. That's on Friday evening. Fireworks on Friday, of course, at 9:30. Those are free. So you want to bring out the kiddos. We'll have a full rundown next week that we'll just go back through again for you before the weekend of the 14th and 15th. Um, we have so this is a cool one. Actually, Phil and I talked about this yesterday. So, one more piece of news from our side: Hardin Local is officially credentialed media for the Kentucky State Fair. That was approved yesterday. The fair runs August 20th through August 30th, and the whole crew will be out there bringing you coverage. So, we got cool passes that we get to wear. This is my first time being a media person, so I'm very
Right.
excited, and I'm excited to also see the state fair from kind of a different perspective. I've always been an attendee, and now I actually get to go kind of behind the scenes. So we're going to be bringing you some special information in regards to kind of the fair from a different angle. If there's something at the fair you want us to check out specifically, please drop that in the comments. That way we know it's huge, right? And there's so much going on. So we're going to try to divide and conquer. But if there's something specific you want additional information on, we want to go where our viewers want us to go. So make sure you drop that there. Okay, so school is starting this week. Phil, you had a couple announcements you wanted to tag on here.
Yes, I do. The first item is the flock camera article. Read it before you argue with it. First, the flock camera article. That story has traveled further than anything we have published when it comes to engagement by far. And honestly, thank you guys for that. But I have to be straight with you about what I'm seeing in the comments. A whole lot of folks are reacting to the headline without ever opening the article. I get it. We all scroll. I do too. And, you know, but this one deserves to click. Nobody handed us that story. We sat down in person. Thompson at EPD, Cross at Radcliffe PD, pulled written policies from all three agencies, and every single quote in there is checkable. It was written from a local perspective by local people about what is actually running here. And here's the thing: it is not a camera are great article. Cameras are great article. And it is not a cameras are bad article. It lays out what the cameras do, what the rules are, where the open questions still are. So before you make assumptions about what it says, read it first. Then come argue with me in the comments. I will absolutely be there for the conversation. It is free to read at hardinlocal.com. Takes a free account, about 10 seconds to set up. That's about it. Now, before I move on to the next announcement, I'm just going to nerd out for a second. I got a new camera, so I got two. Hello.
What's up, Bill? That's so so personal there.
I think it's kind of cool.
It is. I
Um,
like it.
yeah. So the next item on my agenda is the data center series. Part 3 is live. So we have the part 3 of our Elizabethtown data center series is on the website right now. You can find it on the homepage. Monday night, last night, the city's data center zoning rules got their first reading at City Council. Mayor Gregory used the most direct language we have heard from the city yet, saying these rules are against hyperscale data centers. No vote yet. The adoption vote comes at the second reading, and that is expected at the next council meeting on Monday, August 10th. We will be covering that vote. Like everything in this series, every quote has a timestamp and a full unedited meeting video embedded right into the articles. You never have to take our word for it. And let's go back to the other camera. I think it sounds
There you
cool.
go.
My last announcement. The new Civic, we have a new Civic coverage system, and it's going to be pretty cool, I think. Last one, and this one, I really am excited about this one. For about the last month, I've been building and testing a new Civics coverage system behind the scenes of Hardin Local. Here's what it does in plain English. It takes a government body's own public videos of a meeting, the full recording, and transcribes every word of it and helps us turn that into a written report. What was discussed, every motion, who voted, and how, with a timestamp on every quote so you can check it against the video yourself. We've already used it to publish the data center series and a full meeting report on Monday's count. Roll call, every vote, public comments, all of it. That is what you are seeing on the website now. And here's the goal. We want to digest every public meeting in this county this way. Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Hardin County government. Over time, that builds a real public record of what gets decided here and how your local officials actually. Because let's be honest, nobody has the time to sit through every government meeting. That is the point. We will let our AI sit through them for you, and we will always show our work. And if we ever get you something wrong, the video is right there. Tell us and we will correct it publicly. And Rachel, that's what I got from the news desk. Back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil.
Mhm.
Scott, would you like to lead us through our icebreaker question?
Yes, I do. So there was a difference between two different questions, but I think you picked the best question, I think, is who was one teacher you'll never forget and why? And my answer to that is Mr. Stevens. He was my political science teacher in high school, junior high. And I liked him because he was down to earth, honest. We talked about history, politics, and he didn't mince words. So he was one of the very few teachers in high school that talked to me like an adult. He kind of talked to the whole class like adults. So it was always a good thing. About you, Rachel?
So I was homeschooled. I think I mentioned that a time or two. So obviously, my mom, right? But um, there have been other people that I have viewed as like teachers throughout. So I actually had a volleyball coach. I played volleyball with a Christian school here in the area, and had a volleyball coach there, Mrs. Howell, that was extremely impactful in my life, more so than just a athlete and a sports type setting. She actually spoke into my life and helped me walk through kind of the adolescent years growing up as a teenager and all the emotions you experience. And I look to her and still remember those hours and hours that she dedicated to conversation with me. You know, I think about slowing down with as much as I have going on. And then suddenly I am so much more appreciative of the amount of time she just sat there and had conversation with me when I'm sure, like all of us adults, had a million other things that she could have
Mhm.
been doing. So, you know, obviously my mother was an amazing teacher. I'm so grateful for that homeschool experience. But also to Mrs. Howell, it was wonderful having additional teachers outside of just my mom. So, Nate,
Yeah,
what about you? I want to know about a good teacher.
Nico. He'll be back. I'll go
Where-
while we're waiting.
Okay.
I was homeschooled too, obviously. My mother was a very good teacher. Also, former, I guess he was Representative Tim Moore. He was my debate teacher, which we were home idea that for me. And then I did go to public school for the first. Allie was my pretty good teacher as well. And I also wanted, hello, Carrie. Rod, thank
Rachel, I'm trying to figure out how your dad finished 2 out of 2 as far as teachers. If your mom was the best, which means he wasn't, and how you organize it that
Listen,
way.
my dad was definitely my business teacher. His idea of education was to take us to the job sites. He's like, "Let me teach you all a hands-on
Yeah,
education." So,
there you go.
Mine would have been my senior year, Jim Rowe, James Rowe at Central Hardin. I had him for. We were the only. I mean, as teachers, Cassie probably knows this. Scott, they had moved back in the late '90s, early 2000s. They moved World Civ to a freshman class, but it used to be a senior level class. And we were the last senior level class he had when he had to deal with a bunch of freshmen. So he's glad to talk to kids who are a little bit more mature, as well teenagers are. And we had an assignment, and we had some other kids in our class, and basically it turned out to be two different grading policies. And some of us that were like, oh, they got graded on effort, we got graded if we got it right or not. And some of us stood up. It's like, okay, what is happening here? Because that's not what we were told. Like I looked at that like, hey, that was awful. They got an A. Mine, I missed 2 questions. I got a B. I was like, what the heck? And I thought it would make him mad, but he wanted to be challenged. Like he told us to challenge him on thoughts and feelings and reactions. Don't just say you're like it because that's what the book says.
Mhm.
And he brought a lot of everyday, real world. Okay, this is going on in Bulgaria. Why you should care? This is going on, and this is before really we had the great internet. So basically, it's what the newspaper told you. But we would talk about it. Said, hey, did you know that there's a war going on here? Why does it matter? What could it possibly affect? And that really stuck with me. It's like, hey, let's go beyond the book. Let's go beyond the paper. Let's make it real.
that's amazing. John, what about you?
I wasn't homeschooled, but my dad taught me as well. So I'm going with
Awesome.
him. Best PE teacher ever. He loved doing that at Bluegrass Middle School. So that's what I'd say.
Awesome. Steve, do you have a favorite teacher that impacted you?
I'm almost more along your line. Not a teacher per se, but a coach. In Little League, I grew up and I was being so short. I had to always crowd the plate, and I got hit by the ball like every time almost. And this guy actually knew Baltimore Orioles that came out and coached me and got me to become a good player and not be afraid to get hit or taught me how to hit. And that's pretty much the most impactful person I remember.
That's amazing. Well, we just want to, of course, say thank you. I say, as a mother, teachers now take on even a more significant role to me because I am entrusting my children to them, and my kids run into school so excited to see their teachers. And like a special shout out to Miranda Cecil, because even now that she was a first grade teacher, both my kids got to be in her classroom, and even now they still can't wait to get to school. We were at open house a week or so ago, and they ran straight to her. They had to find her before they saw anyone else. And so I want to say across the board to all the teachers, as you all head back to school and to this next semester, we just want to say thank you from Hardin Local. We know that you all have an incredibly difficult job. You daily show up for all of ours most important heart and asset, which is our babies. And so there is not a thank you in the world that is large enough for the care and time that you invest and pour into their lives. You all truly help shape the next generation. So we're excited for you all. And from Heart and Local, we just want to say thank you to all the teachers, principals, staff. If you serve lunches, if you are the maintenance guy, bus drivers, the mowing crew. You all are wonderful, and we appreciate all of you guys and what you do for our students. So, all right, guys. Well, let's jump in. Speaking of school and school fundraisers, it's time for us to talk a little bit more. I know I introduced Steve Ames to you guys. He is the owner of Snow Dogs Food Truck. Steve, welcome to Heart and Local.
Thank you all for having me. This is fun.
We are I don't think it was you in the truck, but we were just at Lowe's the other day, and the whole crew got snow cones. So we are we are so excited to have you on today. I'm super excited to hear more about your story and the behind what brought you to this place, how this all started. So if you don't mind, I'm going to jump right in with you and start asking some tough questions.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So, full transparency, Snow Dogs is this week's featured business spotlight, but everything you're about to hear is real conversation. We don't do scripts. We really didn't give you any idea of what we were going to be hitting you with today. So, I'm excited to just hear the authentic story of Snow Dogs and Steve. So, let's just start at the beginning. How did Snow Dogs get started? And tell us a little bit why the food truck.
All right. Well, we've been here for 20 years in Kentucky. We moved from Baltimore, where snowballs are pretty much just a staple of life. And you really couldn't find one down here. Well, I think when we first moved here, there was this little place over there at the Peddler's Mall, and I'm not even sure it was still open. But you just couldn't find one. And then about 5 years ago, I became medically forced to quit working, and realized in life real quick you got to keep moving or you stop moving completely. So we decided to look into a snowball stand, and we looked into it, and all the requirements pretty much were the same as a food truck. And we were like, well, with a food truck, at least we can be mobile. So that's kind of how we ended up with that, and why we went with shaved ice. I just wanted a snowball. That's all I wanted.
That's so fun. Well, they truly do like the way it sits up on top of there. I mean, it looks like a snowball, and then of course you get to color it, and it's so pretty. My kids want always the rainbow. They want like every single flavor. And then tell us about who's the dog. So there's a mascot situation here, and people need to know. I saw the mascot up earlier. Tell us a little bit more about him.
This is Snow Dogs. He makes an appearance every now and then at events. Take pictures with kids and just bring some smiles. I mean, this whole thing is about just bringing smiles as in any way, shape, or form that we can. And the kids love Snow Dogs, and we've walked in parades. We've done the couple parades in E Town, a couple in Radcliffe, just because it's fun for really no other reason. I saw the costume and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that. I just wish all the parades weren't in when it was 90 degrees. Other than that, it's a blast. I love doing it. Kids come running up to me and they just want to get pictures and hugs, and it's just fun, fun, fun. I don't know.
Well, I think mascots are always so much fun, and I love that it's a dog. Obviously, I think every human likes dogs, so I think
Yeah.
it was a good selection. All right, well, we're visiting with Steve for a full hour. Menus coming up next, and later, how your school or team can fundraise with the truck. But first, John, this weekend, Cecilia is going to be packed. I'm going to let you take it away and share all that information.
J-O-B, where you gotta be. Events all weekend, Hardin County. J-O-B, where you gotta be. Come on, turn it up, tune it, Hardin County.
What?
It is a busy weekend, and hopefully it'll be a lot nicer than it was for the cruising last weekend. That was a kind of a bummer that we couldn't do the cruising, but yeah. Cecilia Days starting off Friday with the fish plate dinners and barbecue sandwiches. Got the baby contest going on, as well as the Little Miss and Mr. Princess, Junior Miss and Miss Cecilia contests. That'll end out the night. And then Saturday morning starts early with breakfast at the Cecilia Baptist Church, $6. It helps us support the student ministries. A 10 a.m. parade. No four wheelers or side by sides, golf courts or lawnmowers. Don't be driving those down there. Walk down there or park and walk. 11 a.m. They got the barbecue chicken dinner until it's sold out. They have some live music with John Langley, as well as the tractor display and games. They also have a car show going on, as well as bingo, the cake walk kind of thing, pedal tractor pull, and Cecilia's Got Talent. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm wondering who's going to get out there and shine this year. Nate, have you ever seen anyone that's just like was amazing at that?
I haven't been to one of those in a while, but obviously with this area's got some great singers. I know I've got a family friend that was in it like last year, or the year before. They did really well, and obviously we've had some kids that have done the Hardin County's Got Talent or whatever, and they went on to the state fair that we could go see and cover. Now that Phil got us credentials, but uh, we've always got. Like, I don't think we have any. Once you get to that level, and you're willing to put yourself on that stage in front of that many people at a festival like this, you're pretty solid. Me, my one time singing didn't work, so no.
We also have the Cecilia Day drawing, honorary mayor and citizen of the year, and a tribute to Dennis Parrott. So that's again going to round out that evening and be a really good event for Cecilia.
I think they have pretty good snacks too, you know. Like they do have some good food out there. Like
They do,
and
for sure.
I'm starting to get my craving for, you know, the festivals and the funnel cakes, and pretzels, you know, all those things.
I mean, I may have to be doing like at the fair. We may have to just do a corn dog off, and I try all the corn dogs that they have available.
Yeah.
It might be a big task, but I think I could take it on. This weekend also we got the Sunflower Festival. Again, Rachel talked about that. It's a great time out at the Thomas Dairy Farm and Market. You got to get out there. It's a fun time. Tons of sunflowers, and then again, you get a free bloom with your admission, so that's always nice. Might be a little thing that Nate was talking about, but we got that Seven Brew grand opening. Got a free small drink and noon to 1 p.m., 5 to 6 through Friday is when they're out there. Swag Day is Saturday. You get a free T-shirt with a large drink. So if you wanted to wear the Seven Brew swag all over the place, get yourself a free T-shirt. There's also the RSBA Coffee and Cards on Friday, 8 to 9 at Apostoli. in Radcliffe. Scott, you know anything more about that?
Yeah, so that's going to be the Radcliffe Small Business Alliance here in Radcliffe, and every first Friday of every month, they hold some type of networking. But it's not just the networking; it's where like if you have an idea, like could be like a really short mastermind or something. Usually they're there for about an hour, coffee, entertain, get to know somebody. But if you're looking for a client, a customer, business partner, sponsorship, somebody help fundraiser, that's the best way because there's gonna be a lot of business owners there and you can just kind of rub elbows with people. So
That sounds great. Fun time. Thursday, we've got Tavern in the Garden. Forging the Fable will be playing 6 to 9 p.m. in Brown Pusey House. And always a food truck out there, drinks, and it's free to kind of come in there and listen to the music. And we got some more back to school bashes, but this time it's not necessarily at all the places. We got one at Heartland's Mini Golf. B. Robbins and the Residents is going to be live. I know they're a fan favorite. We're a fan favorite here at the show. So bring school supplies, donations, backpacks, pencils, crayons, notebooks for the local schools. Also, I know that Hub House is doing a little back to school bash this weekend as well. So it's great that these businesses are doing that for the kids. One little thing that we have going on, just to hit a couple things. We have the August Craft Bazaar Saturday at 10 to 3 at the Pritchard Community Center. So if you want to find some crafts and some cool things, that's down there. The Panther Quarterback Club auctions Saturday. Doors are at 5. Historic State Theater. Two of a Kind Variety Band benefit for the Room Inn on Saturday at the American Legion. And a food truck Tuesday night, tonight. Got two of them, Phillips Grove and the Farmers Market here in E-Town. So again, if you're hungry, find those places that you want to be. It's listed on the website. Always on the website, gang.
Always.
Go and you'll see all the things that we're talking about. Plan your weekend out. I know that Rachel likes to plan that weekend out carefully. So she goes on the website and tries to figure out how she's going to make it all work. And it never all fits in there, I'm sure, but she tries.
You see this, John? This comment, Jamie Curtis said, "Don't
Oh,
talk about
what'd
other
she
corn."
say?
She said, "Don't talk about other corn dogs." Gonna have to
Hey,
explain
you
that.
have to be fair. You know, you got to try all the corn dogs. There could be
Uh,
only one great corn dog, but you got to try them all to know that it's
you'll
the
be that
best.
corn dog connoisseur. That's right.
Hey,
mm-hmm. And Bussin' Bites, Jamie's commented on. Got the best
that's
corn
and
dog.
it, Bussin' Bites, and I still have yet to have Bussin' Pizza. Gang, has anybody had Bussin' Pizza yet?
Mhm.
I
No.
almost made it over there, and when I realized what time it was, they had already shut down. So I have
We
not
just
had
dropping the
Busted
ball.
Bites pizza yet,
Yeah.
but I'm dying to try it.
It's solid. I
Yep.
like the
Got to do
barbecue.
it.
I had you
Okay, so you
muted,
had it, Nate.
Steve.
Okay,
I've had the barbecue. It was good.
nice.
We had a one night. I think it was at they were at Flywheel. We went out and got them, and actually sat and ate at Cuddy's or outside Cuddy's. So it was the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
But I
heck yeah.
mentioned one event. It's not exciting, but it needs to happen. This is good that they do this for the community. The household hazardous waste and prescription drug disposal. Hardin County residents can safely dispose of household hazardous waste. God, a tongue twister. And unused prescription medications from 8 to 2 at Metalsa. So it's good that you have a Metalsa. They do this, I think, a couple times a year. I don't know how often they do it. But it's 8 to 2, 750 North Black Branch. So that's at the Central Hardin Ring Road corridor. Free event. Will accept many household chemicals and medications, but does not accept commercial or radioactive waste. They have there's a graphic that shows everything they accept, but I know that these happen a couple times a year. I work for Best Buy when we do it. Our people bring in stuff too. So it's a good chance to be able to, if you have something that you don't want to just throw it in the trash, let's make sure we get rid of it properly.
Definitely.
So what else? And like John said, we have. This is only a third of the events we have on our calendar on the website.
50.
So you got to go to hardinlocal.com. Then there's a This Week button on the top box, or you can just go to hardinlocal.com/this-week.
And if you go to
Yeah.
Thomas Farms website, I think there's a $5 or 5% off if you use a code. I did have a picture on my Facebook page. There's one as big as my head, which is surprising because of how big my head is. But it literally, I posed right next to it. They've got some huge ones, and again, just because These things don't last. I bought mine and they're already starting to go down. Uh, they're very very seasonal. One bad weekend of weather can kill them. If you're gonna get out there, there's 3 days left to get out there.
And we also have a comment from Sharon with Bus and Bites. I have to do these manually, right?
But I can't see anything.
It's about to come up. Bus and Bites will be at Glendale Gardens tonight, open to the public 5 to 7. Here in Glendale, check them out. Sharon. All right.
Their burgers are amazing.
Oh, they really are.
They do have great burgers. And that's the thing. I tried the burgers before I got the corn dog because they always ran out of the corn dog. And that was the biggest thing. But yeah, their burgers are the best too. Best food truck burger I've had.
It's
J-O-B, where you gotta be. Events all week in Hardin County. J-O-B, where you gotta be. Come on, turn it up, tune it, Hardin County.
Thank you so much, John, for bringing us the events. I want to finish out by just saying hardinlocal.com. As John mentioned, I use it like a calendar. Like I reference my calendar against the Hardin Local calendar to pair up all the different family things that we want to do together. So make sure you go to hardinlocal.com. All right, food trucks came up about 4 times in that rundown, and we happen to have one of Hardin County's very favorite sitting right here. Steve, round 2, let's talk about the food. So, what's on the menu and what do people line up for?
Well, we have, of course, as you can see there, our award-winning hot dogs, which people definitely come for. My wife's pulled pork, people really love. They come from a long way away for that too. It's amazing. And our new barking bubbler seems to be the new hit. It's our version of a dirty soda, and it's really been taken off pretty big recently.
Okay, so
Shaved
what's
ice, of
all?
course, is always incredibly popular this time of year.
Well, I had that smoked jalapeno dog that you had right there pictured.
Oh
That
yeah, forgot
smoked
about that.
jalapeno and cheddar sauce. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was so good. I wanted to circle back and get another, but then I was like, that's embarrassing. Can't do that. So I'll just have to pin it for another day because that was amazing.
Let me add something real quick. We were just added to tonight at the farmers market, so we'll be there. And
Okay.
if you were looking for a corn dog, I think Matilda's Munchies is there and sells those also. So
Oh,
just in
awesome.
case you wanted to get one of those tonight too.
John, we might need to rendezvous out there at the uh, food truck thing. So, okay, what's your signature item? The thing somebody driving by has to try first.
Whew, I'd love them to try almost everything, but at this point right now, honestly, the bubbler. It's been the most amazing item for us as far as taking off compared to all the others. When we introduced the jalapeno cheddar sausage, it's done very well, but it nothing like the bubbler. This is really people are really into dirty sodas. It's become a big thing. It seems like a lot of trucks are doing them, um, and we just did it because people asked for something other than just lemonade, because not everybody drinks lemonade, and that's all we had to offer as far as a drink. So we came up with this because we just didn't want to be like water and soda kind of people.
So dirty sodas really are taking off right now. It seems to be like a trend thing that's like
Yeah.
huge, all the rage. Of course, some of the TV shows that I watch, they're big into dirty sodas. So I've never had one, but it's called the bubbler. What's the flavor profile? Can you get them in different profiles, different flavors?
Oh my God, we have over 1,000 combinations, and I started it that way, and it just became too confusing for people. So I had to break the menu down into like 20 different drinks. I apologize. I didn't give you the bubbler menu.
Oh, okay.
But between all the combinations of flavors that we have, you literally there's 1,000 combinations you can come up with. You can just come up and pick whatever flavors you like. It's going to have cream and chocolate syrup added to it, the soda, of course, of your choice, and then top with whipped cream. And it's just one of them drinks as you swirl it and the top meets the bottom. It's just I or orally orgasmic. It's just incredible. The
Okay,
taste
you've
combination.
sold me. You have sold me. I'm gonna have to just stop by to get one of those because that actually sounds like such a fun thing, and I think my kids would really enjoy picking their flavors and like playing chemist almost, what do we want to add into this? So much fun. What do you transitioning back to like you a little bit more? What do you love most about running the truck?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's the lifestyle. What's more glamorous than sweating over steamers and arguing with generators all day? I mean, how many people get to do that? But honestly, it's just we bring smile. Most of the days, it's just serving happy people, bringing smiles, and or we're chasing napkins down to Walmart. But it's generally just a good time. Um, I actually love waking up to serve people because they come up and they leave happier than they showed up, and they leave some of that happiness with you. And that's really a big part of this. It's just I feed off of that positive energy that they send back to me, and it's a great exchange between us.
That's beautiful. Well, I can definitely say I had to rush into Lowe's for something and I had all the kids in tow and I was rushing back out to the car. It was hot. And I saw your truck and of course they all started begging. And of course at first I was kind of a little grumpy about it. I'm like, "No, we don't have time. We got to go." Well, then I ended up getting that sausage and cheddar dog, changed my whole mood. All the kids had their snow cones. They were all happy. We went back to the house and ate it all on the back porch. And I will say, you all, the food truck, the just the excitement to have us show up and come up to the stand and all the kids picking what they wanted, it really did change the entire mood of our day. So I would agree
Oh,
with you. You're doing successfully doing exactly what you set out to accomplish. So
Yeah,
it's just
Steve.
fun.
Steve, I want to jump in real quick. I had a question. What's the one thing people always get wrong about running a food?
What did they get wrong? Well, I think the biggest problem that we find that they get wrong is that the amount of trucks they need for a crowd is really the only thing I can think of. Or in their case, the time it takes to get food. Sometimes we know people walk away because they go, "I don't have 10 minutes," but we happen to be what's called a ready to serve truck. If you're there more than 30 seconds or a minute, there's probably something wrong with me, because it just doesn't take that long for us per se. Where a lot of people, God love them, they even give you a buzzer because it takes a little bit of time. And I understand that because they're making certain things from scratch, and they need that time. But we have the ability with the way we cook things where it won't overcook, it'll never burn. It's just a process that we use that we can be ready to hand you your food, and it's never overcooked or burnt or you know pour
That's
out, or it's just
that's
fresh and
interesting.
delicious, ready for you.
Great.
Wow.
Boston Bites Food Trucks has a shout out for you, Steve. Hi, Snow Dog, Steve.
So fun. I can't, there's this little bar there that's blocking those messages. I can't move that bar. I'm afraid to touch it because I'm afraid I'll disconnect or something.
It's okay. I just
But
read it
all
to
I see
you.
is Bustin' Bites food truck, and I can't see what
Yeah,
they're
they say
saying.
hi, Snow Dogs.
Oh, I love Sharon. They're great. I love them. Every time I work around, I got to get their pizza or their burgers, whichever truck they got. It's just everything they touch turns to gold. They're good people and great trucks.
One thing I love that I've noticed about all of you guys that have food trucks is A, how supportive you are of each other, how encouraging you are, how you shout each other out. And, it's a culture. It's quite interesting because, as most would consider you guys to be competitors. And it seems like rather than competitors, you all like cooperate and work together to draw out the crowds and you understand that
Yeah.
each truck has its specialty. I think it's beautiful that you guys work so well together, even though most would consider you competing.
It's an amazing community. I mean, we've had the misfortune of having an accident and just some other things happen to us. And when I posted it out there, hey, I need some help. The responses are just overwhelming. I mean, just humbling and overwhelming, and it's just an amazing group of people. I love them all. I consider them all good friends. Um, and people say there's some cutthroats out there. Honestly, I haven't met them yet,
Mm.
and maybe it's just the vibe that we bring out that doesn't bring out that vibe in them. I don't know, but I love them all, and we try to get along with everybody. It's too small a world. You never know who can help you at what time.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
true. Well,
That's
I
true.
think it's amazing. So, okay, don't go anywhere, Steve. The fundraiser conversation is coming after this because from one business story to a whole stack of them, Nate, I hear you've got the scoop.
I do. Need my music though.
Make the agree.
Oh, we got that. We got it coming.
The business is buzzing in town. Nate already knows it's Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah, Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah. Because the phrase was just uttered, orally orgasmic. I'm going to start here.
Thanks, Steve.
I do love my beignets. They are orally orgasmic. I've had them at Disney. I've had them at Cafe Du Monde. They have confirmed that they are coming. So a few weeks back, we got leasing plans that we saw. When I originally did the public stuff, it showed Kilwins, which we know is coming, Firehouse, which we know is coming. They showed Everbowl. Everbowl never did confirm. The latest ones did show Beignets and Brew. They are coming. They sent me a Facebook Messenger message. They confirmed it, and this would match where they are, the shops at Pear Orchard. So if you're at Pear Orchard, that building, the shops, I guess, the shop strip mall, the separate building that Publix is not in, it will be that very first one when you first come in on the left. There will be an empty spot right now that's leased, but it's going to be there. It's going to be 2,000 square feet. The brew is coffee, and they don't have any barking bubblers, but they do have some other things. But the beignets and chicken menu, I'm taking a shot for that one. I will try that one out when they open. I don't know when they're going to open. The only opening date I have is for that whole building and all that stuff is Publix is September 17th or 18th, whatever that Thursday is. But everything else, I do not have anything. I don't have anything on Hotworks, UPS Store, Firehouse, Kilwins, any of those. But beignets and brew, they're coming. Fuel Fortress, if you know where that's at, the former Joanne building out by Panera, El Tapatio, Malibu Jacks, and next to everybody's favorite new roundabout. And I love that roundabout. Fuel Fortress got pushed back. They didn't say why. They have unexpected delays. They did plan to open April or August 1st, and they said they were hoping to be open this week. They're pretty active on social media. I know people are excited about this another gym, so keep watching for them. And if they get it, I will share it on my page. Speaking of unexpected delays, Wawa. If you've driven by the last couple of days, you'll notice a fence. You'll notice a big sign that says Dirtworks is back on property. I'm told that the parking lot's coming up. I've been told that workers are now at the Preston location in Louisville. Me and Phil are working together along with some other people to try to see what exactly happened. There was a call that said that the fire marshal's office reported there was a spill of between 1,500 to 2,000 gallons. And as we know, people always say we don't need any more gas stations. There's got to be, 10, 20 minimum in each town. I think I'm lowballing that. They get deliveries twice a week, 50 weeks a year. So we're getting thousands of deliveries every single year of gas. This is the first time I've ever heard of this happening. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Has anybody else ever heard or seen anything like this that shut down somebody for weeks at a time that Loose Environmental had to show up? I mean,
Nope.
I think this
Only
is
in the movies.
Yeah, I think this is a major deal. Nobody has really said anything. There's been no police report, no Facebook update. Hey, thank you, Central Hardin Fire Department, for coming out and helping us out. Nothing. I went down to the firehouse. I was told I would have to come back tomorrow, and I might have to fill out Freedom of Information, public request, open records request. Hopefully, they don't make us wait 28 days. I called the fire marshal's office, and they said we would have to send out an email and fill out a form for there too. If it's like the old ones, it's not going to be instant. So it may be weeks before people figure out what really happened here. And I do know that Wawa is still not listed on grand opening, so I don't expect them to be open anytime soon because Wawa National puts it up a month at a time, and right now we're not listed. Staying on Ring Road, we'll drive all the way up to the mall. The L&N Federal Credit Union. I stress credit union. It's not a bank. It's a credit union. It's where Fergie's and Buffalo Wings Rings used to be. I mean, Scott and Phil, your business people, and Rachel, you do too, as far as business. They're not the same thing. There is a difference here between the two. But it's going to be good for local people. I think the closest one somebody said was Mount Washington. I don't know if that's true. I don't use L&N, but it may match up. But this will be, as far as I know, I don't think we've ever had an L&N Federal Credit Union. I know we've had a Bound, but we've had Fort Knox Federal. I don't think we've ever had an L&N anywhere.
No.
This will be their first. The former Fergie's Buffalo Wings and Rings. They've got signs up soon, so I'm sure that they'll announce pretty soon when it's going to be. I mean, from the outside, I think it looks done. I don't know what's going on inside, if there's any late stuff that they have to do, if they're waiting on final sign offs, they have to get stuff moved in, because obviously it's not like they're moving, they're building something. Downtown, this is John's area. He's probably seen all three of these. CMG Home Loans by Elena Marie Zampino has moved to 29 Public Square next to Hip South. That's just right there in the corner. If you're ever go to Social Aid, Hub House, you're in that area. Thompson and Shreve, the side of their building has a great mural by Courtney Ballard. I've got the pictures of it. It's fabulous. It takes up the whole wall. They showed behind the scenes of when she was painting it and how it came together. It's fantastic. If you've been on the square out near New Style Records on the corner by Mud Puddle, I think I'm describing that right, John? That's where the other one is, across from Running Souls. She's got one that's up there. She usually changes them seasonally, but she's the same one that does those. This one is great. It is. United We Stand Divided We Fall, the doorway, all of it. Go out and see it while you're walking around downtown. And so after Cute Little Shop was on the square for several years, I don't know when they opened there. The Cute Little Shop moved to the AKA the Yellow House, Yellow Building next to across from or diagonal from Brown Pusey. They left that spot open. They have been filled by the Olive Branch Therapeutic Play and Play Cafe. Uh, Obviously, this fits the need for a lot of parents and a lot of kids. So I've heard rave reviews about them from the owners about how caring from them is number one. That word keeps coming out. They're caring. They're human. They understand. They're patient. So check them out. And then Phil, you can help me with this one. You talked about your new tech. I can't go to the city council planning commissions because I work at nights. But Phil's able to use the video when they do and do them. So what happened at the city council meeting? I mean, I know there was something about probably the Hardin County's newest park is probably the big one, and of course, data centers.
Yeah, and if you go to hardinlocal.com and you scroll down to the bottom where it says government and daily coverage, you can click on read all. They did talk about the hyperscale data centers. I did the first read on those. So that was part of it. But there's two reports I published today. One's called Meeting Report, August 3rd. And on that report, we simply lay out what happened based upon the training. And so there were two new police sergeants sworn in. There was also Mayor recognized Maurice Young for his planning commission and calling him top quality first class. Then there was minutes taken about a seed program for the South End. No details were discussed at the meeting. They also did that reading for the zoning text amendment data center. And that was not an adoption vote. It has to be read again. And then there were several municipal orders for Steel Grove Amphitheater and other property kids, and also something like. But you can find all that on hardinlocal.com. Just click on, go down to the bottom of the homepage and click on all government coverage. That link that's like, or you can just read the hyperscale, but if you want to see them all, just click all government coverage and you'll find them. But yeah, that's pretty much. We also now have a daily brief that's down there too, just basically us pulling links from all the local stories and combining them into one.
I appreciate all that. And reminder, as Phil touched on earlier, don't just read one or two words. The data centers, there was no red carpet being rolled out. It's a here, welcome, build next to Joe Bob's house. That's not happening. The city hasn't done that, hasn't got anywhere close to that. I disagree with the fact that we can't get any information on Wawa, but one, I love the new roundabout out by Joanne. Love it, love it, love it. It's gorgeous. It's probably gonna win awards. It's big. You should have no issue going through there. I don't like waiting a full song to get out of there once I'm done with Malibu Jacks or Panera. And two, the city I think has been very proactive about listening to people and seeing what they want to hear about data centers. We're not just going to say, okay, you have an open building, take it. It's not that. They're listening to it and say, okay, what can we do? What do we need to avoid? So I want to give them some kudos on both of those.
The business is buzzing in town. It already knows it's Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah, Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate, very much. Okay, Steve. So, this is the visit I've been telling everybody about since the top of the show. We are going to discuss fundraisers.
All right.
There he is. Perfect. All right, Steve. So, I have some questions in regard to what has been inkled, which is school fundraisers. So, walk us through how a fundraiser with Snow Dogs works, start to finish.
All right. Well, we've reached out to people or people reach out to us to come up with a program based on whether, let's say, it's a church or a school or a sporting event, and then we'll set up a plan to either usually we set up there and then we donate back usually 20% of the gross, and that's translated into literally thousands of dollars over the course of the year, especially to the sporting events. Um, and churches, we just did one the other day. Um, just did a school yesterday uh, where we're going to be donating some back. Um, but it's just a matter of contacting us, come up with any kind of program. I mean, anything, especially that has to do with kids, that reading or science projects or any kind of a challenge, we'll get behind 100%. We've sponsored a massive reading program over at East Hardin Middle, where we put $3,000 up for their program. So we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and help people out in a big way, because we believe that communities are built when neighbors help neighbors. Um, and it's why we're proud to partner with the schools, the nonprofits, churches, or whoever wants to partner with us. We're equal opportunity partners. We'll take anybody that has a good cause, and if we can help them make money and make some for us too, it's just a double win-win, and good feelings for everybody. I've been in fundraising for most of my life. My mom fought cancer most of her life, and because of that, she got into fundraising and organization. So it was in my house every single day. I was a part of it. I saw it. I got to live it, and I guess it's just kind of one of the things that get in your blood. And all of a sudden, we had the opportunity, due to the success of Snow Dogs, where we were like, you know what, we're going to turn that faucet on, and it hasn't turned off yet, and we're just so happy with what we've been able to do, and people seem to be happy with what we're doing for them.
That's awesome. So, what does the organizations actually get out of it? Like, how does the money side work?
We donate back 20% of the gross sales. So it's we could actually do it in two ways. Sometimes they don't want the money; they just would rather have better pricing. So a lot of times we'll really give them just a ridiculous price, low price, just so they can get something for kids, especially when kids are involved. We'll give things away. We don't care, as long as it's for kids. Or we just tell them, if we sell at retail, we'll give back the gross, and that helps organizations that Americans are the best for just asking them for money and they'll give it to you. But this way, they get a little something back also, and a lot more people get to contribute this way because it's a smaller amount per, unit per se, instead of asking somebody for $1,000 here or there, kind of thing. We can hit 100 people for $1, instead of one person for 100, let's say.
Makes total sense. So, give us a success story, a fundraiser that maybe was very memorable or really worked or you felt passionate about.
Wow. I thought about that one a lot, and honestly, it's almost every one of not any one of them stands out more than the other as far as we consider it a complete success if we walk away, we get to hand them a lot of money, and they get to do something with that they couldn't before. Even if it's small, I mean, that is such a major victory for some organizations, and the karma that we build for ourselves is just it's just amazing. It's just so many good feelings. It's just all about good feelings. I mean, I can't say those words enough with what we do. It's just everything we do, we want to go for the good feelings, however it is, whether to serve you food or help your school, your organization, your sports team, whatever it takes. If we can help, contact us. We are here to talk and do whatever we can to help anybody in Hardin County. We really like to focus in Hardin County. It's where we live, and it's pretty much where we like to keep our money in the county.
That's awesome. All right, guys. And if your group books a fundraiser off the back of this event, we want to hear about it. So if you've heard about Hardin Local and then you book a fundraiser with Steve, we would certainly love for you to circle back and tell us about your experience. Okay, Steve, one more visit before we're done. How to actually find and book you. But first, we're going to jump in to the housing market update. This is my favorite part of the week. So,
All right.
Let me get you, Gene.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Hardin County housing market update. Hey!
all right,
Hey.
guys. Obviously, this is my very favorite part of the week. I get to talk about the love of my life, residential real estate. So, this is going to be from the week of this last week, last Tuesday through this Tuesday. I do encompass some 30-day numbers. And then I want to really encourage you to go to hardinlocal.com. There is a housing market update there where you can actually see the trends over it dates all the way back to January 1st. So if you want to see actually how the graphs are moving, make sure to go to hardinlocal.com. All right, as of course, I'm Rachel Branningham, and each week go beyond the headlines to explain what the Hardin County housing market is doing, and more importantly, what it means for your family, your investments, and your next move. So, after a slow stretch, I know we've had a couple weeks here where things have been awfully slow, right? And we kept saying we expect to see a pickup before we head back to school and then into the holidays. And that is exactly what we're seeing. So, we're seeing renewed energy in the Hardin County housing market. Showing activity has increased significantly. We've even experienced some multiple offer situations on well priced homes. I personally had one that's been on the market for a little over 30 days, and we received two offers within 24 hours. We were able to negotiate from a position of power. But buyers are moving with confidence when they believe that they are getting the right value. It's a very healthy market condition, nothing crazy. However, it is encouraging because I expected to see this after July 4th, and it's doing exactly what as I expected. So this week in Hardin County, the market snapshot: 37 new listings, 15 homes went under contract, 20 homes have closed. So 20 families moved into their new homes. That leaves us with 412 active listings. That's actually down from last week, even though we had 37 new listings hit the market. 104 homes sold over the last 30 days, with 80 days as the average days on market. The average list price came in at $349,079. The average sold price was $310,828. I will let you know that that gap is actually widened a bit in comparison to what we saw pre July 4th. So we're starting to see buyers kind of negotiating um, harder to get a better deal on their purchase. And so that gap is actually widened a bit, with the median sold price actually reducing down to 287,500, which is about as low as I remember seeing all year long. Okay. With 412 active homes and 104 homes sold in the last 30 days, that puts us at 4 months of inventory on the market. It's very balanced. It's probably leaning a bit more buyer heavy. And so it's a bit more of a buyer's market in comparison to a seller's market. Um, while prices softened slightly this week, inventory has declined again, as I mentioned, suggesting that we're seeing normal seasonal movement rather than any major shift in the health of the market. So, kind of jumping down here a bit, I want to talk a little bit about the different markets inside of Hardin County. So, we have like our big market, but it's segmented into kind of some different price points. So, knowing these price points is going to make you as a buyer and or a seller more knowledgeable as to how you want to position your property. Okay. Under 250,000. Keeping in mind that the median sold price in Hardin County is 287,500. Under 250,000 obviously caters to the largest amount of buyers. There are 93 active listings, 38 homes sold in the last 30 days, putting us at 2.4 months of inventory. This is heavily a seller's market. So if you have a listing in that price point, or if you are a buyer, what you need to know as a seller, if you strategically stage it and have it ready and the condition is good and you price it appropriately, it shouldn't last very long on the market. However, if you're a buyer and you find the perfect listing that is staged right, priced right, be aggressive because those homes are moving quickly. 250 to 400,000, there are 202 active listings, 50 homes sold in the last 30 days, leaving us at 4 months of inventory. So that's very much your standard. It's actually trending just a bit buyer market. So if you're a seller, you want to be very cautious about condition. You want to price it correctly. And if you are a buyer, there's a bit more negotiating room to get repairs, closing costs, rate buy down, things like that. Between 4 and 600,000, there are 90 active listings, 10 homes sold over the last 30 days. This price point seems to, for whatever reason, be really stalled out. It's very slow right now, with almost 9 months of inventory. So that is significantly buyer friendly. So if you're a buyer purchasing in this price point, now I will be monitoring this category closely next week to see if this picks up, if it was just kind of a fluke. But very interesting because as we move forward, between 6 and 800,000, we had 19 active listings, 8 homes sold in the last 30 days, 2.4 months of inventory. So if you're thinking about selling and you think you fall somewhere in that range, excellent time to sell. If you're a buyer in that range, you're probably going to have to compete a bit, which is what I noticed. The listing that went into multiple offer situation was listed at 899,000, and it was like all of a sudden things started moving really quickly. Over 800,000, we have 9 active listings in Hardin County, 0 homes sold in the last 30 days. Luxury is a very unique market of its own. It's not to be compared to anything else here on the table. And like, next week, my father's parade home, it will be closing and the new family moving into it. So it's kind of ever shifting. I know 2 weeks ago, we had closings that we were able to map inside that, and I think we were at 7 months of inventory. So it's just an ever-changing market. Obviously, presentation and pricing are super, super important. I wanted to talk a little bit about a rate buy down. So obviously, interest rates are sitting in the high sixes for conventional, lower sixes for FHA, VA, USDA. Here's what rate buy downs do for you rather than a price reduction. So, a price reduction obviously impacts your overall purchase price and it will minutely adjust your your payment every month. But a rate buy down can actually impact that payment by hundreds of dollars depending on the amount that they buy that rate down. So basically they are paying interest in on your behalf up front and it's reducing those rates for X amount of time. Okay. So rate buy downs can be confusing. If it's something that you are like interested in and want more information on, I would highly recommend that you speak to your local lender and or real estate professional. They could give you more information. However, as kind of the housing market expert, would definitely encourage you if you are choosing between negotiating a lower price and a rate buy down, you're going to benefit more in the long term from a rate buy down. What I'm watching this week, I'm watching buyer confidence. The increase in showings and the return of multiple offer situations tells me buyers are becoming more active after the summer holiday season. The next question is how long will that momentum continue through back to school? And I hope it carries into the fall market. And if it does, August could become one of our strongest months of the year. This week's market call, the buyers are back, but they are rewarding the sellers who are prepared. In today's market, success doesn't happen by accident. It happens through thoughtful pricing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm getting over a summer cold. Exceptional presentation, strategic marketing, and strong financing opportunities. All right. And that is my housing market update.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Hardin County housing market update. Hey!
All right, Steve. Please forgive me. My throat made it through all of that, and it is acting up. Let me grab a drink of water.
Take your time. You did well so far.
And yes,
you made it almost through.
Did great. And you can
Well,
also go to hardinlocal.com and click on real estate and then click on our housing market portal. It gives all the stats and data you can't get. And we added an extra page. So if you scroll down to the bottom of that page, you can click show more data and by time frames. Pretty cool.
thank you, Phil. All right. Well, Steve, tell us, where does the truck set up regularly and how far will you travel?
Well, our home base is pretty much Lowe's in Elizabethtown now, 7 days a week, unless there's an event or something else to pull us away. And honestly, we don't go too far. We rather make treats than burn gas. And our regular customers start filing missing dog reports in like 12 hours. They don't wait any amount of time. It's crazy.
Perfect. Well, how do folks book you? So, and what does your fall and winter calendars look like? So, if I want to host a fundraiser, how do I get in touch with you guys?
Well, we have snowdogsfoodtruck.org, which you can go to, and you can fill out a form there, and then I will contact you, or you can call us right on the number on the screen there, and that's all it really takes is just get a conversation going. Um, and what was the second part of the question? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what does your fall and winter calendar look like as far as booking you guys?
We plan on running all year round. We really always have. Last year was the first winter that was so bad that we were kept inside most of it. But our goal is to work every day, as long as it's above freezing, and I can get to Lowe's or wherever. You'll see us out there. We'll have some more warmer food and some fare because we are sitting in that one place over the colder months this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna change the menu just a little bit for the winter.
Well, as what was on that screen, snowdogsfoodtruck.org or 270-421-1725. Steve, I am plugging that into my phone. So you're going to be hearing from me 270-421-1725. And of course, we will be looking for you in the Lowe's parking lot because we love you guys so much and what your mission is and what you serve. It's absolutely amazing. And I wrote it down. I'm coming to get one of your bubblers. Is that what it was?
Yes,
Yeah,
Barking Bubbler.
I'm coming. I'm so excited to try that. I've been wanting a dirty soda. So
Oh, good.
thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us all hour. Hardin County, if your school or your team needs a fundraiser that people actually show up for, you just met your guy. I am so grateful to have gotten to know you a little bit better. And now I will be screaming hello anytime I pass, and we'll be certain to stop in as often as we possibly can.
We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve.
You, Steve.
You, Steve.
You can stick around while we wrap up.
Sure.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, what all was said in the comments that we should go through?
Let me check. I know I have a couple, and since I'm having to do it manually, like I have to go copy and paste it and put in this. Kevin Parrott, he did comment about never heard of a gas bill like that in reference. Also have a bunch of comments between there's just several that I haven't had time to copy and paste in there. Jamie Curtis, we thank you for all your comments and going back and forth with some of the other food trucks like Bus and Bites and Sharon. You guys, appreciate you all commenting. And then we also had somebody comment, somebody new. I don't think I've ever seen Stacy G. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name, but she was talking about how delicious her food is. That looked like about the time frame that one came in. And then we have.
I believe that's the owner of Matilda's Dogs and More.
Is that okay? Well, thank you, Stacy, for that comment. And let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Like I say, this is our new system. We're still working on getting the commenting system to work as seamlessly. We have a lot more flexibility now, but I'm having to custom. We'll do better with these. Stacy also did say "Go Snow Dogs" with a heart, and then Carrie Elrod again. She said hello everyone. She watches them. Carrie, and that's about it.
Perfect. Well, was there any comments about the icebreaker from the beginning and or shout outs that we needed to mention? Or are we good on all that?
We're good on all.
Perfect. All right, quick recap of the weekend because it's a big one. So Cecilia Days is Friday and Saturday. You're not going to want to miss that. The Sunflower Festival's last weekend. I mean, who doesn't want to go get a sunflower? Um, Pretty sure my kids are going to try to save the seeds, and we're going to have sunflowers growing all over our house. And of course, school starts Thursday. I personally cannot wait to see all the back to school photos. I always get teary eyed seeing these kiddos getting older and time passing. Um, and just a shout out, I know that some of the private schools, I think North Hardin Christian went back today. And so I saw a picture posted of my nephews. So if you are in private school in Hardin County area, just know we're thinking of you as well. All right. And then looking ahead, of course, next weekend is White Mills Days. It's the 51st annual. That's August 14th and 15th. The parade is Saturday at 10 on the new route. Duck race, fireworks. We'll have the full preview on next week's show. Phil, anything you wanted to add in before the end?
Yes, just that the flock article follow through. The flock cameras piece is live at hardinlocal.com if you missed it. And the agency's follow up answers keep coming in. So I've been updating that in the article as they happen. So, we'd love for you guys to get involved with that conversation. I would appreciate it if you read the article before you start commenting. Get overwhelmed, it's okay. So have I. My phone's been ringing nonstop since Saturday. I think now we're up to, you combine all the posts on this topic just on Facebook, we've had over 6,000 or 7,000 comments since that's just comments. So there's a lot of people being a little hateful there. We try to hide the ones that are ridiculous, but if you see something that's really offensive that needs to be removed, let us know and we will. We do as good as we can, but I'm not used to having that many comments to have. Yeah, moderation. So if your comment gets hidden and you don't think it should have been hidden, let us know.
Awesome. Well, and thank you guys for your patience with me. Summer cold should be illegal, but I'm on the mend. So thank you for your patience. I know my voice sounds a little funny today. Everything today, the full events, calendar, and the housing page, and how to book Snow Dog's truck is all at hardandlocal.com. Use it as a daily resource and make sure you sign up for our newsletter, okay? Subscribe free at hardandlocal.com and the weekly recap lands in your inbox. I mean, it can't get much easier than that. Subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/at Hardin Local and find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Follow the page, of course, at facebook.com/Hardin Local. We are back next Tuesday at 1, same time, same place. Go get your school supplies. Congrats to all the kiddos going back to school. We will see you next week.
Yeah, all next week. Thank you, Steven.
Thank you all for having me.
Yep.